Hello YouTube, this is Daniel again, and this video by Daniel's Videos and Etc. is again brought to you by Daniel Geek Incorporated. Thank you, and we'll now continue on with the show. Anyway, this is a new package that I've gotten. This package most likely will contain the 2.5 inch to 3.5 inch IDE converter for a hard drive like this one. This is not the hard drive I'm using in my computer. I'm using a slightly smaller in size. This is actually about the same size. Slightly newer Hitachi, I think Hitachi, I don't really remember. By the way, it's a laptop hard drive that I'm using, and it's a refurbished one, and that's what I'm going to be using it with my computer build, PC build. And that, what I'm using that drive for is going to be, but again, not this one, but the one that it is put away, so that's why I didn't get it out. It's pretty far where it is. Anyway, so the reason why I'm using this drive is for music backup and perhaps put some games on it, but leaving the save files, of course, on the main drive. I don't really trust refurbished drives all that much. But anyway, inside this bag, which is very large, especially how small it looked on the internet, should contain that 2.5 inch converter, so 3.5 inch IDE Interface Converter. So we're going to go ahead and open it. And those of you who do not know what IDE means, you might also know what PETA is also another word for. PETA, I think Parallel ATA is also another word for IDE. But IDE, for those of you who don't know what IDE is what predated the serial ATA, or the serial SATA ports, and most of the computers in the 90s and the mid to early 2000s had this kind of interface on it, this is a laptop version of the IDE interface. The desktop version is slightly larger, and I'll show you when I pull the object out of the bag, if it is what it is. So I'm pulling it. Alrighty. That was pretty simple. Throw it on the ground. Alrighty. So, got a letter. Just a simple invoice. Okay. Here's the product itself. By Monoprice, made in China, of course. And this is it. It does look a lot different in real life. Alrighty. So, I'm going to open the bag up, and then I'm going to kind of close it, I guess, with my hand or whatever. Anyway, opening the bag up. Oh, I got it. So this is what the item looks like. Unfortunately, they did not label it, but I guess they meant for you to assume how to use it. Yep. So this is this just converts the 2.5 inch IDE to 3.5 inch, like the ones that you find on your regular CD drives that are IDE based. And how was this plugged in? I think it was plugged in like this. It's very cheap looking and feeling. That's okay. It's not a pass-through, it's obviously direct Molex, so it's not a pass-through. It'd been cool nice if it was a pass-through, but it is not, but I don't need one. So here's how you connect it. This is the 3.5 inch IDE interface. You just plug it in like this from here. Making sure you got those holes lined up, because you don't want to damage the hard drive's pins. You just simply push down on it ever so slightly and carefully. And there you go. And that's how now it's technically a 3.5 inch hard drive with a Molex power connector. I do need to make sure I have the connector on correctly. Actually, there is something that says B and R, so I'm assuming black and red. So I have the inner connector on the wrong direction. So it should be plugged in like this, and hopefully that's not lying to me. Okay, so now all you do is, after that, you take your hard drive, Stick it in your laptop, your desktop machine or whatever, and it just plugs into your normal IDE ports. And you take your IDE 3.5-inch wire, which is not 3.5 inches long. Let's just say this is the IDE connector, the 3.5-inch IDE connector. You take that, you plug it into the computer, and normally, yes, these are not that wide. They are actually as wide as the connector itself. But this is a laptop to USB converter, so I'm going to remove that extra power plug, and I'm going to plug it in to show you guys what it looks like when it has its so-called IDE plug on it. So this is how it works when it's plugged in. See, it does so that's how it works when that's how it looks when it's plugged in to a normal IDE interface. If it had its real plug, which I do have, the computer does come with the motherboard does come with an extra IDE cable. Unfortunately, it comes with an IDE with 2 interfaces on them, but I only need one, so it could have just been one single plug. But either way, this is what it looks like with an IDE plug on it. And yeah, the whole reason for the 2.5-inch IDE is so it can be used in laptops, and that's the only reason that I know of. As far as I know, that's the reason why the plug is 2.5-inch. It's because for laptops that are small, they want to make the hard drive as small as possible, and what's limiting that is the size of the pin, is the whole header itself for the 3.5-inch IDE. So when they made 2.5-inch hard drives, they use this smaller connector, so the hard drive is so they have enough room to fit the hard drive into the actual enclosure of the laptop. Alrighty, and this is how it would typically look like in a typical laptop. The only difference is that this pin right here, this whole interface like that, is actually in the bottom of the computer, like inside of the drive slot for the hard drive, and it does supply both power and it supplies both power and data and control. And this one also does the power and data control too, but 3.5-inch IDE interfaces don't have power pins, don't use power through the interface. They use an external power, which is the point of that Molex connector right there. Alright people, that is my video of the unboxing for the Monoprice made in China 3.5-inch to 2.5-inch hard drive interface. This is going to be for my PC build, and it's going to be used, and the drive using this interface is going to store music on it and whatever other things that I want to have that is read-only and won't write to. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I'll be unboxing probably the CPU cooler. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later, and feel free to leave a comment below if you have one.